Do you dread the night, knowing you'll wake up repeatedly, only to feel like you've barely made a dent in your bladder? Has the simple joy of a leisurely road trip turned into a tactical operation, an exhausting battle against the clock? Do you experience that dull, lingering discomfort deep in your lower abdomen, an ache doctors often dismiss as merely age-related? If these situations sound familiar, here's the truth. You're not alone. And more importantly, you don't have to accept this as your new normal. For countless men over 50, these are not trivial inconveniences. They're persistent, everyday symptoms of a condition that's incredibly common, yet widely misunderstood: prostatitis. Even the word itself can trigger feelings of confusion, worry, or embarrassment. Prostatitis, inflammation of the prostate gland, can strike suddenly or linger chronically, slowly eroding your daily comfort and overall quality of life. Maybe you've tried various medications. Perhaps you've visited specialists and still feel like relief is nowhere in sight. But what if real relief didn't solely lie within the walls of a pharmacy? What if the strongest weapons against prostate discomfort were right under your nose, hiding within your everyday routine? The surprising truth is that many ordinary habits, things you do unconsciously every single day, could actually be fueling prostate inflammation. These habits are silent saboteurs. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on these hidden dangers. In this video, we're breaking down the top 10 harmful habits you absolutely must avoid if you want a healthier prostate. This is not just another superficial checklist. We'll delve deeply into each habit, exploring the science and physiology behind how these daily routines directly impact your prostate health. Stay tuned to the very end, because what you'll learn here could be the breakthrough you've been desperately searching for. By understanding these hidden enemies, you're not only identifying your problems, you're building a clear path toward lasting relief. Today isn't just about highlighting issues. It's about equipping you with the knowledge to reclaim your comfort, confidence, and vitality. The journey to a healthier, happier you begins right here, right now. Let's start the countdown. Number 10, tight pants and jeans. Coming in at number 10 on our list is something many of us do in the name of style or habit, without ever considering the consequences: wearing tight pants, especially restrictive jeans or trousers. Now, you might be thinking, really? My pants? What does that have to do with my prostate? The connection is more direct than you might imagine. Your prostate gland is located deep within your pelvis, surrounded by a complex network of muscles, nerves, and blood vessels. Its health is critically dependent on two things: good blood circulation and a stable, healthy temperature. Tight clothing, particularly around the groin and pelvic area, acts like a vice. It creates constant low-grade pressure. This pressure can physically compress the area, but more importantly, it can impede blood flow. Think of it like stepping on a garden hose. The water flow is reduced to a trickle. In your body, that water is nutrient-rich, oxygenated blood. When you reduce circulation to the pelvic region, you're essentially starving the prostate and surrounding tissues of what they need to function properly and heal. This poor circulation can contribute to inflammation and make existing prostatitis symptoms worse. But that's not all. There's the issue of heat. The male anatomy is designed to be kept slightly cooler than the core body temperature for a reason. Tight synthetic fabrics trap heat and moisture, creating a warmer, damper environment. Recent thinking in men's health suggests that this elevated temperature in the pelvic region isn't just bad for sperm production. It can also contribute to an inflammatory environment around the prostate. It creates the perfect breeding ground for discomfort and irritation. So, what's the solution? It's simple. Opt for comfort. Choose pants with a looser fit, especially in the seat and crotch. Look for natural, breathable fabrics like cotton or linen instead of heavy, non-yielding denim or synthetic blends. This isn't about sacrificing style. It's about making a conscious choice for your health. Giving your pelvic region room to breathe and maintain proper circulation is a small, easy step that can make a surprising difference in your daily comfort levels. Number 9, prolonged, uninterrupted sitting. At number 9, we have a habit that has become an epidemic in the modern world: long, uninterrupted periods of sitting. Our bodies were designed for movement, yet many of us spend our days chained to a chair. Whether it's an office job, a long commute, driving a truck for a living, or even just relaxing in your favorite armchair for hours on end watching the game, this prolonged sitting puts direct, sustained pressure on your perineum, the area between the scrotum and the anus. And guess what lies right underneath that area? Your prostate. Imagine placing a book on a soft piece of fruit. For a minute, it's fine. But leave it there for 8 hours, and you're going to have a bruised, damaged fruit. It's a crude analogy, but it illustrates the point. This constant pressure can directly irritate the prostate gland and the nerves surrounding it. For a man with an already inflamed prostate, sitting for long stretches can transform a dull ache into a sharp, debilitating pain. Furthermore, just like with tight pants, prolonged sitting dramatically reduces blood flow to the pelvic region. The muscles of your pelvic floor and glutes become inactive and compressed, leading to stagnation. Healthy circulation is essential for carrying away inflammatory byproducts and bringing in healing nutrients. When you're sitting, this vital process slows to a crawl. Over time, this can contribute to what's known as chronic pelvic pain syndrome, or CPPS, which is often a component of chronic prostatitis. Modern research is increasingly highlighting the dangers of being sedentary. It's not just about burning calories, it's about the physical stress your posture places on your internal organs. The solution isn't to quit your desk job, it's to break the cycle of static pressure. Set a timer. The Pomodoro technique is great for this. Work for 25-30 minutes, then stand up and move for 3 to 5 minutes. Walk to get a glass of water. Do a few simple stretches. If you have the option, consider a standing desk. When you're watching TV, make it a rule to get up and walk around during every commercial break. These small interruptions are not wasted time. They are investments in your long-term comfort and prostate health. Number 8. The habit of holding it in. This brings us to number 8, a habit many of us learned in childhood or adopted due to busy schedules. Intentionally delaying urination or holding it in. We've all been there. You're in the middle of an important meeting, driving on the highway with no rest stop in sight, or engrossed in a project. Your body sends the signal, but you tell it, "Not now, I'll go later." While your bladder is designed to be a flexible reservoir, consistently ignoring its signals is a dangerous game to play, especially for a man with prostate concerns. Here's what happens physiologically. As your bladder fills with urine, it expands. An overly full bladder puts direct physical pressure on the adjacent prostate gland. If your prostate is already enlarged or inflamed, this added pressure can significantly increase discomfort and pain. It's like pushing on a bruise. But the bigger danger lies in what this habit does to your urinary system's mechanics. Regularly holding in urine can, over time, weaken the bladder muscle itself. This can lead to incomplete emptying. When urine remains in the bladder after you've gone, it becomes stagnant. This stagnant pool is a perfect environment for bacteria to multiply, dramatically increasing your risk of urinary tract infections, UTIs. A UTI can be a miserable experience on its own, but for a man, the bacteria can easily travel to the prostate, triggering a severe case of acute bacterial prostatitis or worsening a chronic condition. Furthermore, some studies suggest that the extreme pressure in a full bladder can even cause a small amount of urine to back up into the prostate ducts, a phenomenon called intraprostatic urinary reflux. This introduces irritating substances from the urine directly into the sensitive prostate tissue, causing chemical inflammation. The message here is simple and non-negotiable. When you have to go, go. Prioritize your body's signals over your schedule. Make it a habit to use the restroom before long drives or meetings. Listening to your body is one of the most respectful and protective things you can do for your prostate. Number 7. Spicy and overly seasoned food. At number 7, we enter the kitchen. We're talking about very spicy and heavily seasoned foods. For many, a fiery dish is a culinary delight, but for a man with prostatitis, it can be a recipe for a painful flare-up. The culprit here is often a compound called capsaicin, the active ingredient in chili peppers that gives them their heat. When you eat spicy food, your body digests it, and the byproducts are eventually filtered by your kidneys and excreted in your urine. Here's the problem. Your urine passes from your bladder out through your urethra, a tube that runs directly through the center of your prostate gland. If your prostate is inflamed, the tissues of the urethra and the bladder neck are often incredibly sensitive and irritated. When urine containing concentrated irritants like capsaicin passes through, it's like pouring salt on an open wound. It can cause a burning sensation, increase urinary urgency, and trigger a significant inflammatory response in the entire area, worsening your prostatitis symptoms for hours or even days after the meal. It's not just about extreme heat from chilies. Other potent seasonings and acidic foods can have a similar effect on some men. Think of things like heavy curries, excessive black pepper, or highly acidic tomato sauces. Now, this is highly individual. Some men might be able to handle a little spice, while for others, even a dash of hot sauce is enough to cause trouble. Modern dietary approaches to managing prostatitis often emphasize an elimination and reintroduction strategy. This means cutting out potentially irritating foods for a period to let your system calm down, and then slowly reintroducing them one by one to see what your personal triggers are. This doesn't mean your food has to be bland and boring. It's about shifting the focus from fiery heat to flavorful herbs. Learn to cook with basil, oregano, thyme, rosemary, and sage. These add wonderful flavor without irritating the urinary tract. The goal is to please your palate without punishing your prostate. Number 6, alcohol consumption. Coming in at number 6 is a topic that's central to many social gatherings and routines: alcohol. While a drink now and then might seem harmless, regular, or excessive, alcohol consumption can be a major antagonist to a healthy prostate. Alcohol impacts your prostate health in several ways, but the most significant is through dehydration. Alcohol is a diuretic. That's a scientific way of saying it makes you urinate more frequently. This process flushes water out of your system, and if you're not replenishing it, your body becomes dehydrated. This leads to more concentrated urine. Just like with spicy foods, this highly concentrated urine is full of waste products that are far more irritating to the sensitive lining of your bladder and urethra. For a man with an inflamed prostate, this irritation is a primary driver of symptoms like urinary frequency, urgency, and that burning sensation. Secondly, alcohol is, in itself, an inflammatory substance. It can trigger inflammatory responses throughout the body, and the prostate is no exception. If you already have a low-grade chronic inflammation in your prostate, alcohol can act like throwing gasoline on smoldering embers, causing a painful flare-up. Finally, some studies suggest that alcohol can relax the smooth muscle of the bladder neck and prostate. While this might sound like a good thing, it can sometimes interfere with the complete emptying of the bladder, again leaving behind residual urine that can cause problems. What's the smart approach? For men with active, painful prostatitis, many urologists recommend complete abstinence from alcohol until the symptoms have significantly subsided. For long-term management, moderation is the absolute key. If you do choose to drink, have a full glass of water for every alcoholic beverage you consume to counteract the diuretic effect. Pay attention to what you drink. Some men find that dark liquors or beer are more irritating than clear spirits like vodka or gin. But ultimately, reducing your overall intake is one of the most effective lifestyle changes you can make to calm an angry prostate. Number 5, too much coffee. At number 5, we have the world's most popular morning ritual, coffee. For many of us, the day doesn't truly begin until that first cup. But when one cup turns into 4 or 5, you could be setting yourself up for prostate-related misery. The primary issue with coffee is its high concentration of caffeine. Much like alcohol, caffeine is a potent diuretic. It signals your kidneys to produce more urine, leading to increased frequency. But caffeine is also a direct bladder irritant. It can make the muscles of the bladder more twitchy and hypersensitive. This creates a perfect storm for a man with prostatitis. The inflammation from prostatitis already makes you feel like you have to go all the time. Add caffeine to the mix, and you get an even more exaggerated sense of urgency and frequency. It's the reason why, after a couple of cups of coffee, you might find yourself running to the restroom every 30 minutes, even if not much comes out. This constant signaling and spasming of the bladder can severely aggravate the entire pelvic region. It's not just coffee. Be mindful of other sources of caffeine: black tea, green tea, many soft drinks, and energy drinks, which are particularly bad offenders, due to their massive caffeine content. The good news is that you may not have to give up your warm morning beverage entirely. The key is dose and timing. Try cutting your intake in half. If you drink 4 cups a day, try 2. See how you feel. Avoid drinking coffee on an empty stomach, as this can make the irritating effects more pronounced. Consider switching to a high-quality decaf. Modern decaffeination processes preserve a lot of the flavor without the problematic caffeine. Or explore prostate-friendly alternatives like herbal teas. Peppermint or chamomile tea can be soothing and hydrating without irritating your bladder. Reducing your caffeine load can dramatically decrease that frantic sense of urinary urgency and bring a sense of calm back to your bladder and your day. Number 4, constant stress. This brings us to number 4, and it might be the most important and most overlooked factor on this entire list: constant unmanaged stress. In our high-pressure world, we tend to view stress as a purely mental or emotional problem. But modern medicine confirms that your mind and body are inextricably linked. Stress has profound and direct physical consequences, and your pelvic region is one of the places it hits the hardest. When you're stressed, your body goes into fight or flight mode. It releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. This is a primal survival mechanism that prepares you to face a threat. Your heart rate increases, your blood pressure goes up, and crucially, your muscles tense up, ready for action. The problem is, in modern life, the threat isn't a tiger in the bushes, it's a deadline, a traffic jam, or a financial worry. The threat never really goes away, so your body can get stuck in this state of high alert. One of the muscle groups that is notoriously sensitive to stress is the pelvic floor. These are the muscles that form a supportive sling at the base of your pelvis, and they surround your prostate. Under chronic stress, men unconsciously clench these muscles, just as some people clench their jaw or tense their shoulders. This creates a state of chronic pelvic tension. This constant tension does 2 terrible things. First, it physically squeezes the prostate, worsening inflammation and pain. Second, it restricts blood flow and creates a painful, dysfunctional state that is the hallmark of chronic prostatitis, chronic pelvic pain syndrome, CPPS. In fact, many specialists now believe that for a huge number of men diagnosed with prostatitis, the root cause isn't an infection at all, but this very pattern of stress-induced neuromuscular tension. So how do you fight back? You have to actively engage your body's relaxation response. This isn't just trying to relax, it's a physiological process. Deep diaphragmatic breathing, breathing deep into your belly, not your chest, is incredibly powerful. Just 5 minutes of slow, deep breathing can signal your nervous system to calm down. Light physical activity, like a brisk walk, helps burn off stress hormones. Hobbies, meditation, or simply spending time in nature can all help break the cycle of stress. Managing your stress is not a luxury. For your prostate health, it is an absolute necessity. Number 3, not drinking enough pure water. At number 3, we have the flip side of our discussion on diuretics like alcohol and coffee. The habit is simple and incredibly common: not drinking enough plain, pure water. It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? If you're already struggling with frequent urination, your first instinct might be to drink less, so you have to go less. But this is one of the worst things you can do. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of the problem. As we've established, when your body is dehydrated, your urine becomes highly concentrated. It's darker in color and packed with metabolic waste products and minerals. This concentrated brew is extremely irritating to the delicate tissues of your prostate, urethra, and bladder. It's like trying to clean a sensitive surface with a harsh chemical solvent instead of a gentle, diluted solution. This irritation is a major driver of the frequency, urgency, and pain associated with prostatitis. Adequate water intake, on the other hand, is your system's best friend. Water dilutes your urine, making it less acidic and less irritating. It's a soothing balm for your entire urinary tract. Think of it as rinsing out the system, preventing irritants from lingering and causing trouble. Furthermore, good hydration keeps things flowing. This regular flushing of the bladder and urethra helps to wash away bacteria before they can get a foothold and potentially cause an infection that could spread to the prostate. So, how much is enough? The old 8 glasses a day rule is a good starting point, but your needs may vary based on your activity level and climate. A better guide is the color of your urine. You should be aiming for a pale, light yellow color. If it's dark or has a strong odor, that's a clear signal you need to drink more water. Make it a habit. Carry a reusable water bottle with you everywhere. Sip it steadily throughout the day rather than chugging large amounts at once. If you find plain water boring, add a squeeze of lemon or a few cucumber slices. Prioritizing hydration is a simple, free, and profoundly effective strategy for calming inflammation and supporting your prostate. Number 2, a sedentary lifestyle. We arrive at number 2, and this is a broader, more encompassing version of our earlier point about sitting. We're talking about an overall sedentary lifestyle. This is more than just sitting at a desk from 9 to 5. This is about what you do in the other 16 hours of your day. It's the habit of choosing the elevator over the stairs. It's driving to the corner store instead of walking. It's spending your entire evening and weekend sunk into the couch, with your main form of exercise being the walk to the refrigerator. This lifestyle of inactivity is devastating for your general health, and it specifically creates a hostile environment for your prostate. Movement is life. Your circulatory system, which delivers oxygen and removes waste, relies on the pumping action of your muscles to work efficiently, especially in your extremities and your core. A sedentary lifestyle leads to poor circulation, stagnation in the pelvic region, and an increase in systemic inflammation throughout your entire body. Physical activity, on the other hand, is a powerful anti-inflammatory. It boosts blood flow, delivering a fresh supply of oxygen to your prostate and carrying away the inflammatory byproducts that cause pain. It helps to regulate hormones and blood sugar, both of which can influence prostate health. It strengthens the pelvic floor and core muscles, providing better support for your internal organs. And as we just discussed, it's one of the world's most effective stress busters. We're not talking about running marathons or becoming a bodybuilder. The key is consistent, gentle movement. Walking is man's best medicine. Aim for a brisk 30-minute walk most days of the week. Swimming is another fantastic, low-impact option that's easy on the joints. Specific, gentle stretching, particularly yoga poses that open up the hips and pelvis, like the child's pose or happy baby pose, can be incredibly beneficial for releasing tension in the pelvic floor. Breaking up with your sedentary lifestyle is about changing your mindset. See movement not as a chore, but as an opportunity to heal. Take the stairs. Park further away. Get up and stretch. Your prostate and your entire body will thank you for it. Number 1, unhealthy food, the pro-inflammatory diet. And here we are, at number 1 on our list of things to avoid. This is the big one. It's the fuel you put into your body every single day. We're talking about a diet rich in pro-inflammatory, unhealthy foods. You cannot have a healthy, calm prostate if your body is in a constant state of diet-induced, low-grade inflammation. It's like trying to put out a fire in one room of your house while pouring lighter fluid in all the others. The modern Western diet is, for many, a recipe for chronic inflammation. Let's break down the main culprits. First, sugar and refined carbohydrates. Think of anything made with white flour, sugary drinks, pastries, candy, and breakfast cereals. These foods cause a rapid spike in your blood sugar. Your body responds by pumping out the hormone insulin to manage it. This constant cycle of sugar spikes and insulin surges is a major driver of systemic inflammation. It's a well-established scientific fact. Second, unhealthy fats. Specifically, trans fats found in many processed and fried foods, and an overabundance of omega-6 fatty acids from cheap vegetable oils like corn, soy, and sunflower oil. While some omega-6 is necessary, our modern diet is overloaded with it, and this imbalance promotes inflammatory pathways in the body. Third, processed and excessive red meat. Numerous large-scale studies have suggested a link between high consumption of red and processed meats, like bacon, sausage, and deli meats, and an increased risk of prostate problems, including prostate cancer. These foods can contribute to inflammation and hormonal imbalances. So, what's the alternative? It's not about deprivation, it's about empowerment. It's about building an anti-inflammatory plate. Think in color. You want a diet rich in antioxidants that fight cellular damage. This means loading up on vegetables and fruits. Specifically, cooked tomatoes are a prostate superfood, packed with an antioxidant called lycopene, which has been shown to concentrate in the prostate tissue and protect it. Watermelon and pink grapefruit are also great sources. Incorporate cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, kale, and Brussels sprouts. They contain a compound called sulforaphane, which has powerful anti-inflammatory and cancer-fighting properties. Embrace healthy fats. We're talking about omega-3 fatty acids, which are powerfully anti-inflammatory. The best sources are fatty fish, like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. Plant-based sources include walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. Don't forget zinc. The prostate gland contains a higher concentration of zinc than any other tissue in the body, and it's critical for its proper function. Pumpkin seeds are one of the best sources of zinc on the planet. Oysters, lean meats, and legumes are also good. Finally, consider adding green tea. It's rich in catechins, another type of antioxidant that has shown great promise in supporting prostate health. Making these dietary shifts is the single most impactful long-term strategy you can adopt. It addresses the root cause of inflammation from the inside out. It's not a diet, it's a way of eating that honors your body and gives your prostate the building blocks it needs to be healthy. So there you have it, 10 hidden enemies that may have been silently contributing to your discomfort for years. From the pants you wear, to the stress you carry, to the food you eat. The message today is not one of fear, but of hope and empowerment. It's to show you that you have so much more control over your health than you may have realized. This isn't about achieving perfection overnight. It's about making small, conscious choices, one day at a time. It's about choosing the stairs, drinking one more glass of water, swapping the fries for a salad, taking 5 minutes to just breathe. Each one of these changes is a step away from pain and frustration, and a step towards comfort, freedom, and a better quality of life. Prostatitis does not have to be a life sentence. For many, it can be a powerful wake-up call to reevaluate our habits and start treating our bodies with the respect they deserve. You have the knowledge. Now, you have the power to act on it. If you found this video informative and helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps our channel reach more men who need to hear this message. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our future content on men's health. And now, we want to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Which one of these 10 habits are you going to start working on today? Sharing your journey can inspire others. Thank you for watching, be well, and take control of your health.